Every year, tens of thousands of tourists leave Europe in search of warm beaches, friendly smiles, and a break from daily life. And thousands of them choose a tiny country on the West African coast. A place with a superb climate, golden beaches, quiet resorts, and a reputation for hospitality. But beneath this picture-perfect paradise lies a much more complicated reality. Because among these tourists, a specific group stands out: older British women. Women in their 50s, 60s, even 70s, who arrive for a simple holiday, but often end up forming intimate relationships with young Gambian men. Locals call them bumsters, young beach boys who charm, entertain, and sometimes form long-term romantic or transactional relationships with foreign women. Some of these relationships turn into real companionship. Others become financial traps, emotional manipulation, or pure survival strategies. So today we explore the deeper truth. Why are older British women travelling to Gambia for young men? What is happening on Gambian beaches? And how did this small country become a hub for a controversial form of tourism? To answer that, we need to go back to history, economics, culture, and the human stories on both sides. The Gambia is Africa's smallest mainland nation, a thin strip of land wrapped around the river Gambia, bordered entirely by Senegal, except for its Atlantic coastline. Its major towns, Banjul, Serekunda, Kololi, Bakau, Bijilo, and Brufut, form a lively tourism belt where most visitors stay. When the British first established colonial rule in the 19th century, Gambia's economy revolved around groundnuts, fishing, and river trade. But by the 1970s and 1980s, the country needed a new source of revenue. Tourism became that lifeline. European tour operators discovered Gambia's warm climate, just a 6-hour flight from London, much shorter and cheaper than the Caribbean. This created a new tourism model, low-cost winter sun holidays for Europeans, especially retirees. And as tourism grew, something else grew with it: a shadow industry. Sex tourism, one that wasn't listed in travel brochures. The rise of bumsters. In the 1980s and 90s, local Gambian youth, mostly from poor neighbourhoods of Serekunda, Bakote, and Tangi, discovered a unique opportunity. Foreign tourists were friendly, curious, and often lonely. Young Gambian men were charming, athletic, and eager to escape poverty. The beaches of Kololi, Kotu, and Senegambia became the centre of a quiet economy. And these young men became known as bumsters. The name originally meant someone who hangs around tourists asking for money or help. But over time, it took on a very different meaning. A bumster became a beach guide, a companion, a dancer or entertainer, a language assistant, and sometimes a romantic partner. Some genuinely wanted friendship or connection. Others were driven by economic need. Many saw it as a way to meet older European women who could help them travel, build a business, or support their families. For women arriving from Britain, many divorced, widowed, or simply lonely, the attention felt flattering, liberating, even healing. But the age gaps were dramatic. A 60-year-old British woman with a 22-year-old Gambian man was not unusual. Soon, international media began calling the Gambia the Benidorm for older women, or the cougar capital of Africa. But this is an oversimplification. The truth is far more complicated and human. So what drives these women? The reasons are surprisingly consistent and deeply emotional. The first reason is loneliness and finding companionship. Many women travelling alone are divorced, widowed, or retired. Some haven't felt desired in years. In Gambia, they find young men who treat them with warmth and attention. Not judgment, not pity, just companionship. For the first time in a long time, they feel wanted. Second, to escape emotions. A holiday in Gambia is cheap compared to Spain or Greece. For pensioners living on limited income, it's an easy escape. Sunshine, culture, dance, and adventure. The motivations of these women are deeply personal. Number 3 is feeling young again. A 25-year-old Gambian man dancing with a 65-year-old tourist at Senegambia Strip isn't unusual. For many women, it's thrilling. A rediscovery of confidence. Number 4, economic power imbalance. Let's be honest, poverty pushes many young Gambian men into these relationships. A tourist buying meals, clothes or gifts can change a young man's life. Some women understand this, others do not. Number 5, hope for something real. A surprising number of these relationships evolve into marriage. Some even relocate to Britain, Sweden or the Netherlands. But for every success story, there are many heartbreaks. If you're enjoying this, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps us out. The other side, why Gambia's youth participate. For young Gambians, the motivations are complex. They enter these relationships for many reasons. Economic survival, Gambia has high youth unemployment. A young man earning $3 or $5 a day selling fruit or fishing might suddenly receive £50, £100, or even more from a tourist. It's life-changing. The dream of Europe. Many bumsters believe a relationship with a European woman could open pathways to a visa. Some succeed, many don't. Cultural influence. In Gambian coastal society, having a foreign partner is sometimes seen as a sign of success. A young man who marries a European can become a celebrity in his neighbourhood. Genuine affection. We must remember, not all relationships are transactional. Some men genuinely fall in love. But with poverty in the background, affection and survival are often mixed together. Beneath the surface, there are painful realities, scams, and financial exploitation. Some women are manipulated. Stories about sick mothers, broken roofs, or school fees are common. Emotional breakdown. When a woman discovers her young lover has another girlfriend, or even a wife, the heartbreak can be devastating. Legal and ethical questions. Western media often compares Gambian bumster tourism to male tourists seeking young women in Southeast Asia. The moral debate is intense. Is it exploitation, mutual benefit, or simply two adults making choices? Family pressure. Some Gambian families push their sons toward these relationships for money. Others strongly oppose them. Shame and stigma. Many British women hide these relationships out of fear of being judged back home. Real stories from the beach. On the beaches of Kololi or Cape Point, the stories are endless. A 62-year-old British grandmother married a 23-year-old fisherman from Tangi. Today, they run a small guest house. Another woman from Manchester supported her Gambian boyfriend for 5 years, only to discover he had a wife and 2 children in Brikama. A woman from Liverpool bought a plot of land for her 27-year-old lover. He disappeared the next month, but some couples stay together for decades. Cross-cultural love, despite the odds. The truth is, there is no single story, no single motive, no single outcome. Only people, trying to find connection, survival, and meaning. The Gambian government has tried to control bumster activity, especially around Senegambia, Bijilo, and Kotu beaches. Police occasionally detain young men harassing tourists. Hotels warn guests about unsolicited guides. But enforcement is inconsistent. Tourism brings in up to 20% of Gambia's GDP. Cracking down too hard could harm the economy. So the issue remains in a grey zone, acknowledged but rarely resolved. In the end, the question, why do older British women travel to Gambia for young men, has no single answer. It is a story shaped by loneliness, poverty, history, colonial legacy, race, desire, power, imbalance, and the simple human need for connection. Gambia is a beautiful country with warm people, rich culture, and extraordinary hospitality. But like many places shaped by tourism, it also reflects the complex realities of our world, where affection can mix with economics, where hope meets exploitation, and where two people from opposite worlds try to fill the gaps life has left behind. This is not just a travel story, it is a human story, unfolding every day on the beaches of the Gambia. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button, share with your friends, and subscribe for more amazing videos.